Before we came in, somebody said I was putting on an Igbo attire, and I'm discussing under the platform of movements for a peaceful Edo. I was not like movements for a peaceful Imo. So anywhere in Nigeria that needs to be safe and peaceful, it is for the good of all Nigerians, wherever they reside and whichever state they stay. You are welcome to yet another episode of the Matters Arising podcast or the movements for a peaceful Edo. And I have three persons with me right here in the studio. I have Kelvin. Kelvin, you're welcome. So you can just greet everybody.
Good day, Benin City. Good day, Edo State. My name is Kelvin Mbobawaye.
So I also have Samuel Udbefu.
Thank you very much.
All right, we have our main guest for this discussion today, and he is no other person than the Agbadagbu of Lagos local government, and is Enoma, Prince Enoma Igunwe.
Thank you very much. You can also call me the mayor.
Mayor.
I want to thank you for having me here today. Let's do justice to the business of today.
Most recently, the government of Edo State had initiated an anti-cultism law, and this law had highlighted several clauses that would discourage cultism activities in our society and also to help us maintain peace, security, tranquility amongst inhabitants that are residing in our society. So that is why we brought Enoma and other persons to join us in this discourse today. So we want to look at cultism, anti-cultism, and what are the things around the laws that the governor of Edo State and the House of Assembly had put together. But before we look at what the government of the day had done, let us understand what is cultism, like why cultism or why anti-cultism? What is that concept, cultism? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stewart. Cultism per se presently in our state, Edo State, is these social vices. These an act of is it an association you call it, something that has sent the young ones to their early grave, something that have destabilized our state, something that has given Edo State a bad image. And it's so unfortunate that at this present age, we still experience what we know as cultism. Yeah.
Well, I think cultism has been existing for as long as possible.
Yes.
So you're saying for this present age, still saying cultism is a shame.
Yes.
I wonder what you mean, because to me, because of the decadence we are experiencing in our society, I'm even expecting to even grow more.
Okay. Then.
Even if we are consciously calling against it, and because when some things are not in place, there will be reactionary actions by people to express their claim, their border and everything. So that is why I'm trying to question why you say it is something that is not supposed to be this present.
The reasons for my definition and choice of words is this. An average age of 18 years old man, 20, 30s, in their prime, you don't begin to imagine people that falls within that category of ages will go and say, I want to kill my fellow brother. I want to kill my fellow man, my fellow guy at this age. That's why I said something like that is just so unfortunate that it is happening at this time. It looks like an act of witchcraftism. You understand? If you want to put it in that dimension, you understand? Why we all wake up in the morning, you don't have anything doing, something just comes to your mind and said, this guy has messed up, or this guy's all trespass. Make I carry gun, go shoot that person, or might go kill that person. That's why I said at this time, 21st century, when you have your mates in other parts of the world, you are doing better things with their life, they are doing better things with your brain. In Benin City, Edo State, you still see young men killing their fellow brother. It is nonsense. You understand?
That's a deep one for thought.
It's nonsense.
So I want to hear from Kelvin, because I don't know the perspective you're going to approach this discourse in. But I just want to hear from you what's your general concept is like for this cultism action.
Okay, so personally, and I would say anybody that went through the institution, the tertiary institutions, or even secondary schools in the city or Edo State, they will know, or they would have experienced some fashion or some form of cultism one way or the other. And the truth is, most people's experience of cultism is not pleasant. You understand? It's not pleasant. It's always about oppression, people making life uncomfortable for other people. So I wouldn't, because we are here to give a fair analysis of the situation. So I don't want to come from that angle because that's what I experience as well. So in order to be fair, I'm going to look at it from a more holistic point of view. And I'm going to say that I think cultism is a result of a deeper problem in our society, right? I don't really think cultism is just there because of cultism, because people want to be violent. It's because people want to feel like they belong to a family. People want to feel like they are protected. People want to feel like, they have people that they can run to when there is a problem. And when you see youths in society that don't have anything better to do, or that they have issues in their family, there's no peace at home, they're looking for places to belong to. Now, this is minus the outliers, people that just like violence. There are people that are drawn towards violence and wickedness. Yes, I believe it is a societal issue. It is a societal womb that gave birth to cultism, and that's why it seems like it's not going away. You understand? So I think in the course of this discussion, we are going to treat it looking at both sides, and we're going to try and analyze it fairly so that we understand what the problem really is, and so that we can prefer solutions to the best of our capacity.
All right, and thank you, Khan. You said societal win had birthed these results of cultism.
Yeah.
I like that expression. Who gave that wound? Who implemented that wound? Who even know? What you said is right, because you said cultism is not the primary problem. There's a primary problem that has better. Now, who implemented that wound? So what is that chief small problem that had developed into cultism, not be a reactionary response?
Okay. So let's look away from Nigeria, because when most people hear cultism, they want to talk about Benin, Edo State. Let's look away from Nigeria. Cultism is everywhere. It's everywhere it's evolved. Let's say in the South Americas, when they had guns, right? Because that's what it was. That's what it is.
Yes.
Guns. So when they had guns, some of those guns were formed because the people felt like they had been put into a state of helplessness or oppression by the government. So it was a means of fighting back. Now, this is one case scenario. I'm not saying this is what is the motivation for every court. I'm just saying. So there are different causes. There are different reasons. So like in the South American example, let's say the government isn't taking care of the people. The people need people that can fight for them. It's like militancy,
Freedom fighters
in the
Niger Delta.
Niger Delta, right? So militancy came up because the government was oppressing the people. So also in some places, cultism is as a result of people wanting to belong to a group of people that they know that if they want something done, they have brothers, they have uncles, people that they can meet and they can get something done together. They can fight against the government. Speaking of government, I don't know if it was going into that part in discussion already, but unfortunately, cultism that was supposed to be a means of standing up against oppression. I think the very first cult group, I don't really remember, but I know then we were talking about it in school about
Nigeria,
the Walisho in cars,
the pirates.
Yes, how they formed that group, the U7s, right? And it was an organization of people that they were essentially fed up with how things were going on. They wanted something to change. It's just unfortunate that sometimes when you want things to change and you're passionate about it, you can get violent. Maybe not by your choice, but it's like you're really passionate. You want something, you want a door to open. Sometimes you can only knock for so long, and you want to break the door down. So I feel the violence and all these things that's happening in cultism, the idea for some was good at the initial, but then it turned violent. Yeah.
And thank you very much, Jovi. I like what you've said. Now, before we round off this hour looking at the foundation of all these things, I want Sammy to come in, because from what you said just now, it is being that from the foundation, when you hear that word cults,
Yes.
cults can be synonymous to group.
Yes.
Now, groups are formed for different purposes. In fact, in school when I was non level, I had a group that we studied together.
Okay.
So if the motive, the modus operandi, the idea behind we forming that reading group, if we miss it with something else, with another motive, we can turn that reading good to a cult group.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's all about the motive, the actions, and the desired goal that the group is achieving or they want to achieve. So I want Sammy to come in with this contest. If cultism started, okay, let me not call it cultism. If groups started with the ideology to form a family, to pursue a common cause and get a particular result, what do you not think led to that switch that cultism now became an evil thing? Once you just say cult now, your mind is big boom. So why is that shift in our society today? Why do you think it is? Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Something you need to understand is that human beings are dynamic. You understand? They are not animals. They have their free will. They think and do whatsoever. You cannot control them. Even God was unable to control humans. So you understand?
A woman, not be human.
Hey, humans that even God was unable to. You understand? They were rules in the garden, but they break out from that rules. You understand? So the main cause is we human being. You understand? We have this thing for doing something else beyond set down rules. You understand? Called groups. If you visit the association now or group, they will give you rules and regulations.
Have you visited them before?
No, I understand. They have rule books. You understand? Every institution. Yes, they do.
Wow.
Do your findings.
Okay.
Do your findings. They do. Every
Allegedly.
no, it's not allegedly.
Okay,
They do.
You know this for a fact.
I said they do, sir.
Okay.
They do. Do your findings. Every institution form. These people they have these rules and regulations that members are supposed to follow. You understand? But at the end of the day, you find out bad eggs. There are bad eggs everywhere, even in government
Family circle.
family circle, upbringing. You understand? Your mentality, the way you think.
Yes.
So this affects, I'll say this at the long run has affected the move and operandi of these cult groups. And that's the reason why you see young boys today, young men today, boy girls, they are killing themselves in the streets. Why will you wake up in the morning? Because you are blue or because you are black. You say you want to go and kill your fellow brother. So you see that evil. Normally, in I like making reference to the book of God. You understand? When God created Adam and Eve, he gave birth to Abel and Cain. What happened? Cain killed his brother. So imagine even in family, if you can kill your you understand that? So that is already there.
It's bound to happen.
Man is already desperately
So what now happened is you as a leader of that association, you must do everything possible to fish out, remove this bad egg from your organization. Because at the end of the day, it will bring bad name to that organization. So that's the thing. Thank you.
Perfect. That was actually an intelligent and relative
Yes.
reasoning to bring up in this topic right now. On this part of the discussion now, I want us to, because of time, I want us to look at what infrastructure has been laid on ground to curb this menace of cultism. Now, the Edo State government had, in a few months back, they had developed an anti-cultism book that is like the Bible to persecute cultism activity practitioners and also to discourage them from carrying out activities moving forward. Now, one of the parts of the book that disturbs me the most is the fact that if you are found wanting, you are going to have the house where you stay demolished. And most of the people that are cultists, most of them, they are not yet well to do enough to have built themselves a house. So that means if someone is found wanting, it means that the house where they are residing will be destroyed, even if they are not the owner of the house. And most of the time, they are not the owner of the house.
Yeah.
That means a landlord who does not occupy ever
Yes.
will not fall a victim of destruction and demolition of his own building because he harbored a cultist that he was perhaps not even aware of his identity before he rented his apartment. What are the background checks that they can do? What are the effective means that can be on ground for them to run this background check before they give their house to persons that are coming to take their house. So all these are some of the things that bothers me. So what do you think about this action of people who are not the main cause of this crime because they are just unfortunate to house cultists and have their house destroyed? What is the solution to this, or what do you think about it?
Thank you, Mr. Stew. That has also been disturbing me for some time now. First, let me commend the Edo State government for being in a hurry to initiate, to pass, and produce this anti-cultism law. We'll clap for them. But this is the problem. Is that the solution? Is that the lasting solution to this problem? My answer is no. For you to produce a law, what have you put in place? What are the laid down procedures? You don't enact a law when some things are not right, when the foundation is wrong. When you do that, you have only succeeded in prolonging the problem. Now, what are the necessary steps the government are supposed to do? It is simple. 1, sensitization, awareness. Has the government done a lot on this aspect? No. Where do you take the awareness to? How do you sensitize these people? It is not only in school. The landlords in our various communities, in our various streets, the government should set up and produce a policies. I can remember when my father was alive, there's this association of landlords they form in our area. You fast track tenants and people coming and leaving the neighborhood. With all this, you are able to know and trace and know some of these criminals that live within the society. If the government can bring back these olden days policies, take the awareness down to these people, these criminals or these people embarking on these social vices or in the name of this cultism, we know that there's no room for them. So before this law can really work, the government have a lot to do. The government have not done anything. You understand? The government of the day was just in a hurry to produce and enact a law. How long will that law last? Okay, since the enactment of that law, has it stopped cultism? 21 years in prison in it for those that financially sponsor these guys. Those that harbor these guys, 10 years. The guys participating or there is a cultist, 21 years. That is not realistic. Allegedly, these same government people producing this law, all of them are cultists. We should not run away or hide away from the truth. Charity begins at home. You understand? We must first search our side, arrange our side before we can take this message outside. If these people outside say, oh, government don't start like this, they feel they deal with themselves like this, they will now know that, yes, this thing will work. You understand? So the foundation is wrong. The foundation is faulty. The system is wrong. We must start correcting it before this anti-cultism law must work.
Thank you very much. That was smart. I want Kelvin and Sammy to come in this regard. Now, there is also a part of that law that was not publicized. Now, this is what happens when a policy, when a law, when any bill is being passed.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be publicized to the public for them to understand what's
and also it must be a public hearing.
Yes. What are the penalty when you commit this crime?
Yes.
And what are the conditions that guides you, even if you are in the crime, not to be persecuted? Now, there is a part in that law that was not publicized that even the police that enforce law, they will never want you to know. In fact, when they catch you, they want to rope you with anti-cultism because you are a young boy who is just fine. Because you roll your hair, because you put your name for
what's that part?
Now, there is a part of that law that I said it has given room for renouncement of cultism. So even if you are a cultist and you need to renounce, there is provision in that law for you to renounce cultism. But they will never publicize those parts. They always want people to fall prey for this crime, even if they don't know anything about it.
Funny enough, I'm just hearing that for the first time.
That is it too. So now, what do you think they should have done in that aspect? Because it is not more than them just making it so known to everybody. Okay. What can we talk about in the awareness raising of that aspect and other things around this? Because it's more than just the negative part, the persecution part. What about that part that can give room for them to change?
Okay, well, first of all, I think it's heartbreaking that we would know about all the punishments that are accompanying this thing without knowing the solution or how we can save ourselves.
Yeah.
I think if that was deliberately shut out from the public, then it just goes to tell you about how they handle things in government. I don't know about this. I'm just hearing about this. So I'll do my finding to know if there's actually something like this. Really, because it is crazy, and that like it provides an olive branch for anyone that's easy cultist here currently, which means you can run to the government. So that means if someone has been in a cult, maybe against their will, right, for years, it means now because of this new policy, the person can run to government for asylum and ask and renounce their cult and be free.
Yeah.
I think this is the part that should be in the news. Why is this not in the news?
That's why we are doing this in peaceful Edo movement matters arising to put it in the news.
I think that is it's. I think you just saying this here, you might have saved thousands of lives.
I learned it from somebody that we had as a guest in our last show.
Wow, that's amazing. I don't know what to say.
We need to read. We are not information hungry.
No, I think as much as you are right, I think the government needs to do a better job of letting us know about this kind of
So that I don't know no good day.
yes, you understand about this kind of policies that can save lives, not just the lives of the cultists that were young now.
Question. Let's ask this question. Yeah. This policy that the government made. Yeah. The policy, is it for the betterment of the people?
Yes.
Or is for some certain
Set of people, or is targeting some group of people.
Have you asked that question? Those are some questions you just need to. Sometimes you just need to think outside the box.
Those are the nuances.
You understand?
Yes.
Because if you observe when the law was passed, activities that have been carried out,
Yeah.
you see different houses being marked for
Demolition.
demolition. You see houses already demolished. You understand? And on a norm, when you arrest someone for a crime, they are supposed to do they are supposed to investigate that person. Thorough investigation. You understand?
Investigation does not take 2
It
days.
does not take 2 days. You take the person to a law court.
Must be tried.
You understand?
Found
Then
guilty.
the judge or whosoever that preside,
Yeah.
we found the person guilty before you now act on that issue. But what we've observed is this person is my enemy, maybe political enemy. You mark that person house for demolition. Or you just see a group of, because even the Nigeria police force, they are even now using it to
Make money.
make money. They are making money out of the system. You just see a group of people coming at night. You know who do your due diligence. You arrest them and say they should go and bring 1 million. Do you know how many people that civil society group have saved from prison? Because as they catch you like this, they just take you to Oko. Straight up.
Are you serious?
It's very crazy.
So you see,
of
you
course.
see,
Of course.
you make a policy to better the society, not to you understand. You must be right in your decision making.
This part one I want to talk to. It's very important too. No, I like you, my brother.
Then another thing, sorry sir, another thing is government. I don't really know what they are doing though. The policy is a good one.
Welcome idea.
Welcome idea initiative. I don't really know what they are doing.
I know what they are doing. I know that they don't know what they are doing.
This man is a friend of the government.
I know that they don't know what they are doing. Okay, imagine a cultist arrested
Yeah.
is living in 3-bedroom flat.
Yeah.
He's not the one that built that house.
Yes, you just go
The
down.
next thing you take
A
caterpillar,
caterpillar,
you bring the house down.
There is form of.
Eh?
Makes no sense.
Does that make sense in the same society?
No, it doesn't.
It does not make any sense. And this is the same society that the government does not even offer housing project
Yes.
mortgage for his
For his people.
people.
Somebody took
And
a
somebody
loan to
that
their
have
house.
built like also for years, the guy don't like this thing, they make me the vex. It does not really make sense. It does not really make sense because this government, they need to see, because when you have, I don't want to now go and look at, oh, this guy is not being political. But when you have the wrong people in power,
You are correct.
you will have wrong policies.
Yes. Policies that will not stand.
Or when you have the right people in power and you surround that right person with the wrong people, you have wrong ideas and wrong politics. So these are the things that are happening in our dear state right now.
There's no issue.
Thank you very much, Sammy. So, our guest,
Okay.
wanted to tell us something about this whole kind.
Yes.
They start wrapping up.
Thank you, Mr. Stew. In my concluding parts, my message is to Edo State government regarding this anti-cultism law. There should be an instant suspension of that law for now, pending these few elements, these few ingredients I'm going to suggest to them. Number one, sensitization and awareness.
Mass.
You don't just go to a Kedolo and borrow some students to government house for a town hall meeting and say this is anti-cultism law, these people are youths. Or you go to one garage and bring some people. No. For this law to work, there should be a thorough sensitization, awareness. Call for a robust meeting. The youths, students, institutions, students from these institutions, polytechnic and all of them. A very robust one. Secondly, some of these associations, these cult groups, the government knows them. They know their head.
They know them.
Because in the past, we have seen, we have read, we have watched, where they have donated things to the same state government. The government in this town hall meeting, this robust meeting, should invite all the heads and their sub-heads from the various colors, as they say, invite them to this town hall meeting. Invite people from the force. I'm talking about the police. Those people that enforce this law, the police, the army, invite them. Let everybody be in a round table. You understand? And begin to articulate this matter. Let it be known. Invite the landlords, invite everybody. Once this awareness, this sensitization is being carried out, not the one in a hurry. It should not be political. You are in APC, you are in PDP, you are in ABGA. Let everybody be in a round table. Once these things are done, and this thing is being carried out, some of those laws they pass, some are good to go. My brother talked about some. You can't imagine someone went to LAP or went to bank to borrow money, 50 million, 60 million, to build a house or even build an hotel. Then one miscreant came to lodge there or stay in the house. The landlord doesn't know anything about it. In a sane society where we have civilized people, we have law enforcement officers, you just go the next day, you carry caterpillar and demolish that house. That is nonsense. All these things needs to be looked into again. Our legislators, for example, they are not helping matters. The governor per se may be a very good guy that has good intention to stop or to end this cultism, but he's been surrounded by some of these cultists, by some of these wrong people, by some of these bad advisors. So the governor needs to look inward again, put himself together, re-examine the laws, call for a robust town hall meeting. Once this is done, cultism will be reduced to the greatest minimum in Edo State.
Thank you very much, Inoma. Thank you very much, Kelvin. Thank you very much, Sammy. So, our viewers at home, I'm sure you've heard from the platform today what this has been like and the danger it can pose to our society and what the government has been doing and the nuances around the actions that they have carried out in the past. So we are taking this opportunity to call this information to your consciousness so that you will be aware that this is what is existing in our society today and you need to embrace this knowledge to guide all your actions moving forward. Any comments you have based on cultism activities, please join in our comment section. If there are other ideas or thought process you want to express to us for us to understand how person project from O to here, put them on the comment section. We are going to utilize them and also find a way to make sure this information reach as many persons as possible so that we can have a healthy environment coexisting. Say no to cultism, say no to bad vices, and live healthy, live right, and be patriotic. Nigeria is our great nation. Our own continent is Africa. Together, we'll march on to freedom and restore the world. All right, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to see you on the next episode.